Hello, welcome to Group 4's presentation on Meta's move to the Metaverse. We'll begin with discussing the structure at Meta. As you know, organizational structure is a spectrum that consists of aspects from either bureaucratic or networked organizations. At Meta, we see a centralized structure. Employees describe a top-down approach where higher-level managers hold the most power in the company. Employees are also discouraged from going against their views of management and voicing dissent. We also see clear boundaries. Management makes the large decisions in the company, while below them, employees have varying levels of authority depending on their position. Based on these two, we can also draw the conclusion that Meta has some level of formalization where their employees must listen to their superiors and their guidelines. On the other end of the spectrum, Meta as a company is driven by innovation. We see large investments into AI, AR, and VR technologies, which is a fairly untapped market at this point. Meta is hoping to lead the way in this field, making these technologies easily accessible and a part of everyday life. Work at Meta is also fast. Management is always pushing for faster turnaround times so products and features are delivered to the customer quickly. Like all organizations, there are coalitions that drive the company. Meta has implemented a peer review system where employees are required to review each other. These reviews are used to grade employees and in many cases used to make employment decisions. As a result, we see influential employees sought after for reviews, giving them more power in the company. There also could be cases where multiple negative reviews can be used as an attack on other employees who may have differing views. As mentioned previously, the managerial elite holds the most power in the company as they use. As employees must abide to their guidelines and goals to be taken seriously and move up within the company. Goals are an important part of structure as they dictate the company's perception to the public and the large internal decisions. Meta stated goals that they advertise to their customers. First and most obvious is innovation. Next is the idea of authentic self, which states that by working at Meta, employees can be their true selves and expect to have their ideas heard. We can also see the goals of their product, the Metaverse, such as connecting people and building community. Having a large virtual world at your fingertips will make it easy for these people to interact with each other on a more personal level. These, however, are only stated goals. The actual goals of the company place cost savings and efficiency at the center of everything. With the recent layoffs, we saw Mark Zuckerberg release a statement stating that these are the main explanations for the layoffs. So at this stage, Meta is not very well equipped to transition. We see that employees have little say in the work that they do, and they don't have a voice. There will be a lot less innovation and motivation. This also leads to feedback not making its way to decision makers and results in unsatisfied customers. There are also too much focus on profits. Meta leadership has to understand that the metaverse is an investment and will not have a quick turnaround when it comes to generating revenue. The coalitions within Meta are also contributing to a poor working environment. When it comes to reviews, employees are too focused on completing as much work as possible and impressing management and dominant coalitions. This is causing employees to focus on short-term goals and poor hours as they want to have more achievements when review time comes. So what has to change? First, Meta has to move away from or rework the peer review system that they have in place. The current system only states to put pressure on employees to perform and causes them to lack passion and quality in their work. Meta also needs to integrate feedback from their customers and employees. The current top-down structure is resulting in a disconnect between these parties and will soon result in customers becoming unhappy with the focus on their products and updates. Finally, Meta needs to shift away from the focus on profits and generate more towards creating high-quality products and focus around their customers' needs.
The culture at Meta is very outdated. While Meta has some great values that may have worked when it was considered Facebook, the cultural transition into VR future needs some updates. Next slide. Currently, the stated values of Meta that are found on the website displays move fast, where urgency as well as efficiency are a top priority in the company. Focus on long-term impact, which emphasizes long-term thinking. Build awesome things pushes the company to build and learn faster. Live in the future guides the company to build the future of distributed work that we want. Be direct and respect your colleagues, where employees should be straightforward and willing to have hard conversations. And lastly, MetaMates, and me is about being good stewards of our company and mission. Next slide. As a team, we decided to change the stated values to give the company a new face during its transformation into the metaverse. Our first stated value is efficiency is key for long-term success. With Meta transitioning into the metaverse, there are only a handful of companies that are creating their own metaverses. Meta needs to be more efficient as well as drawing consumers by creating the best version as soon as possible to maximize growth. Embracing collaborative environments will describe how we want our employees to work together. We want our employees to be passionate about what they're working on so that they can create the best possible product for our consumers. Build a culture through connectivity. We'll display that our focus is to connect families, friends, and employees in the metaverse to have a more intimate surrounding as well as make work more efficient. Find opportunities to improve will allow Meta to see its mistakes as learning points on how to improve for future decisions and products. We will learn from our mistakes to make a product that will take the market by storm. Lastly, continuous innovation will describe that our metaverse will never be complete. We plan on continuously improving to stay ahead of our competitors. Next slide. Currently, the real values do not fit our transformation. The employees do not feel heard, which causes them to feel excluded from the company. For Meta's customers, the old focus was to connect customers with family, friends through social media. Lastly, the performance. Recently, Meta has been trying to focus on increasing profits while reducing the current expenses. While this may seem like a great idea, there are potential negatives that could cause a company in rushing its metaverse to get a quick profit. Next slide. We decided that the real values needed some change for a more efficient transformation. For our employees, they're considered to be our most important asset. We hire brilliant minds with the same goals as our company displays. We will be taking feedback from our employees to give our executives a clear picture for future decisions. For our customers, we want to expand off what Facebook did. We connected family and friends from all over the world through social media. With Meta's transformation into the metaverse, we want to allow our consumers to have a more intimate space to spend their free time to include family, friends, and coworkers. Lastly, with performance, with the metaverse slowly being implemented, Meta cannot rush this project and focus on quick profits. If the metaverse is done correctly, the payout will be massive with the technology on the rise. We need to ensure that our development of the metaverse happens efficiently. Next slide. For the current interpersonal behaviors, the employees do not have much say in the company. For Meta's history and stories, it's still fairly new in the transformation from Facebook and Meta, but still displays connectivity through social media and how family members and old friends had the ability to connect through Facebook. Lastly, dominant logic. When Meta was considered Facebook, they would purchase companies such as Instagram and WhatsApp to add complementary applications to improve Facebook and take over the social media market. Next slide. We believe we need some change to our norms to transition into the metaverse. For interpersonal behavior, similar to our real values, we want to develop passion within our employees. When employees are passionate about a project as well as our future goals, they will put their heart and soul into their work and will want that project to succeed. For our history and stories, Meta is a new beginning. We want to build off what Facebook set up in connectivity. With the metaverse, consumers will have an intimate space where they can do activities, connect, as well as work efficiently. From these experiences, stories can be developed to show the world how much Meta changed these families and employees' lives. Lastly, with dominant logic, we cannot let our guards down. With a few companies trying to create their own metaverses, Meta needs to continuously improve our own metaverse to retain customers. Next slide.
Facebook's new name Meta is Greek for beyond. Therefore, leaders need to think beyond what is being done at present time. Next slide. Leaders with diverse talent and background are needed. They need to increase the diversity of people working in tech industry, particularly in the areas of artificial intelligence, gaming, and virtual reality. At Meta, diverse perspectives and embracing different backgrounds and experiences are essential to building products and services that people around the world will use and love. Ability to gain trust. Leaders need to have the ability to demonstrate to people that they are committed to building Meta in a responsible way. That starts by explaining what their vision for these technologies is and the challenges they believe will need to be considered as it develops. That means leaders need to be open and transparent about the work they do and the choices they make. And it means being clear that their intention is not to develop these technologies on their own, but to be one part of a wider technological movement. Next. High level of expert knowledge. Meta won't be built, operated, or governed by any one company or institution. It will take a range of companies, large and small. Because of that, leaders need to be knowledgeable in many areas, like computer software, computer engineering, gaming, social media, etc. Furthermore, variety of leaders should be picked based on experience and experts in computer engineering, computer software technology. This is a transformation that requires massive resources to create a virtual reality, and it is easier to communicate when those in charge have an idea of what is supposed to be happening. Next. Leaders should be transformational. Leaders need to be innovators and change makers with bold vision, and they should have a desire to make an impact. Leaders also need to make radical changes. Not only Meta needs leaders who are builders, like designers, programmers, or architects of systems, but at Meta, leaders need to be flexible. At Meta, problems need to be solved with everyone involved. Leaders should be transparent to help team members build trust with one another. Leaders need to bring both logic and deep empathy to work. Leaders should have a sense of humility. Strong leaders who can think with their heads and lead with their hearts. Leaders should make everyone feel comfortable to ask questions and be open to their team members' ideas. Next. Leaders should also be marketable to market this new technology to the rest of the society around the world. Next. Furthermore, leaders need to be open to different ideas, and they need to have great interpersonal relationship with all the employees. The common theme across different areas of this technology movement is interconnection of a standard system application that enables everyone to work together. Leaders need to work together to make this work. Next.
Employee motivation. At Meta, the employee motivation is one of our main components of achieving company success because at Meta, we will make sure that the employee are constantly feeling happy, fulfilled, and motivated, which can make them to perform more better, and it reduce the employee turnover rate and ultimately save money for the company. Next. Some of the methods needed to keep employees feeling motivated during transformational period are: one, we need to set attainable goals. The goals we need to set have to be smart. That means have to be specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound goals for all the employees, so that employee will know the aim and passion of the company. Next slide. Second, we need at Meta, we need to provide immediate praise for any accomplishment by any employee in order to boost their morale and provide positive impact for the success of the company. We need to create an employee incentive program, because any employee that perform positively has to be praised and given bonuses, pay time off, like gift card, points, and verbal recognition. Next slide. Third one, we need to ensure that a healthy work-life balance for the employee, because working out at the company, we need to create give room for the employee, so that we need to create recreational facilities and provide work from home options for the employee. And the fourth employee motivation is to create a positive work environment. Some of the possible work environment are encourage work autonomy, inspiring creative and innovation, celebrating both professional and personal milestones. Next slide. We need to encourage an open door policy within the workplace, because every employee have to believe he or she is part of the company. So everybody in the company has to be involved. Everything has to be in open door policies for the transformation of to the next level. Next slide. We need to provide opportunity for career development advancement, because we need to offer free on-job training and certification courses are a great way to keep employees feeling motivated, excited, and happy about their work. We need to promote team collaboration within the employee by planning team bonding activities, teaching conflict management within the employee. Next slide. And lastly, on the employee motivation, we need to offer mentorship opportunity by offering opportunity like one-on-one coaching and mentoring within a small groups setting, can inspire employees to ask questions, set more advanced goals. With all this motivation, I think it can take us to the next level in a meta phase. And the reward system we should be looking at in the meta phase is the employee stock option plan, which is a way to retain and attract employees. The objective being to give employee an incentive to have a way in that we boost the employee stock price, because by doing this, both the employee and the company are feeling they believe that the company is their own, because what the employee is contributing some percentage to the stock of the company, and the company also is contributing some percentage of the stock of the company. So the employee will feel like the company is their own. Next slide.
Okay, so the transition management, how we're looking to manage the actual change process that the company is going to be going through. We're looking to have one clear team or leader involved in managing the change process, but they need to be have a transformational mindset to move the company from the known areas of social platform success to the unknown waters of virtual reality and the metaverse. There are a lot of new facets to this market that we're trying to move in, and we feel that one centralized team would be able to manage this in an organized fashion opposed to a free-for-all. That being said, a major part of this change and implementing new methods in the workplace would be to receive employee feedback and understand how employees feel about the directions the company is moving in. So the management team would be in charge of obtaining the employee feedback and taking this data and analyzing it and coming up with the best solutions and methods to induce change that all parties can agree with. Or they would be able to override and make a stand with direct changes in the culture that they feel are necessary for the company to succeed. They would, in other words, be the first line of communication with employees on the changes they foresee, and also the first to initiate conversations to understand where employees think the company should be moving towards and how to make this move. Next slide. So this would be through receiving employee feedback, getting employee input, and this would be through anonymous surveys, one-on-one meetings, open forums, workshops during working hours. And I stress during working hours because there are a lot of employees that might not be able to stay after hours and go to these additional workshops or things of that nature. But using these different methods would be able to get a lot of different people the ability to give some sort of feedback on the actual change process that we're looking to implement, because this is obviously a lot of unknown that we're trying to go into in terms of you're trying to create reality but virtually. So this isn't going to be one person that's going to make all the ideas that are going to be generated for this product that are going to be successful. It's going to be a lot of different people throwing in multiple ideas, and you need as much employee feedback as you can get. Next slide, please. So obviously, with massive amounts of change, you're going to have a lot of resistance to change, and there are going to be a few different ways of overcoming this resistance to change. Some of our main solutions would be education and communication. So we're looking to get people to talk about the changes and educate as to why we're making these changes in the program in our company. You want to promote things like customer feedback and using data to implement it into sales for further products that we have in our company. Being able to actually give tangible results or tangible examples of ways that we can make changes is going to help a lot of our employees understand why we're trying to move in the certain direction that we are. We also want participation and involvement. We want to host seminars, classes, additional meetings. You just want to get people involved and to kind of understand that this isn't just something coming down from the top that we're pushing. It's going to be something you are personally involved in to try and push forward into Meta from Facebook. And then lastly, you want to have negotiation and agreement. So you want to get employees talking with management and negotiating the optimal methods to induce changes. Obviously, this won't be immediate, but getting the conversations moving on is the best way to motivate and induce changes in the workplace. Next slide. And that's really what we have to say about our changes that we're looking to implement for Meta and how we as a company should move forward with this in our next steps.